best decision you've ever made, and it allows you to live a brand new life on your terms, work the days and hours and times, and create a lifestyle that ultimately makes you happy. And that's what the Academy's about. Welcome to another episode of the High Performance PT Academy podcast. So Zander, obviously, before coming on board on the Academy, what was it that ultimately made you want to become a PT, or what is it that made you want to get into the industry in the first place?
So my twin sister was actually a PT.
Okay.
She worked at the fitness group. We do the PT courses and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I was just figuring out what I wanted to do. I've always been into like health and fitness and going to the gym since I was younger. But the fact that she was working there and told me a lot about the course and what she was doing, like working as a PT, I thought I could be into that. But yeah, that's why I started out as a PT. But I didn't expect my passion and my love for PT and training and all that stuff to grow so much. So I started off, I think it was February 2020 when I qualified.
Yep.
Obviously then March went into lockdown, so it was pretty much the worst timing. But yeah.
So ultimately, how did that make you feel? Because you've probably got the excitement of, I'm going to be doing something I love. I'm taking this passion and it's going to be my career. You join a gym, you're like, right, let's make this happen, and then it all gets taken away from you.
Yeah, it was gutting, man. Those like 6 months that we were in lockdown just was so difficult. Like I set up my Instagram, and it was just all people I know. It wasn't like there was no traction. So before I'd even started, it was hard to see the path to being a successful PT, because the ball like literally just never got going. Like the phrase, you fall at the first hurdle, well, like the first hurdle wasn't even there, it just got taken away. Yeah, it was gutting, but it sort of gave me a wee bit of a hunger to, as soon as everything opened back up, to get the ball rolling and like to finally start doing what I got qualified doing like 6 months ago. So,
well, it's funny because I think initially for a lot of new PTs that get qualified, there is probably a wee bit of lack of confidence there in terms of, how am I going to get clients? Do I know enough? Like, what am I going to charge compared to other people around me? There's probably a lot of questions and there's a lot of unknown as to what you're going to do. So I think you having that and then the gym being kind of wiped from you as well. Mm-hmm. I know for me, I've spoke to a lot of PTs that weren't necessarily that busy before that point, that lockdown was the kind of crux to kind of either get them out the industry or get them to another job, where they were now trying to juggle 2 jobs. Mm-hmm. And that's obviously not the best position. So what was it that kept you in the industry rather than you dropping out? Because you just came in, mm-hmm, and everything had kind of been wiped from your feet.
Yeah, that's a good question. I think what lockdown gave me was a chance to listen to more content than I could find. Do you know what I mean? Grow my knowledge base, start actually falling in love with training and like the process of PT.
Yeah.
And I think that like that picture of being able to like help people and change people's lives and like actually have an impact on their well-being, through PT, like that definitely kept me going. Listening to other PTs, listening to audiobooks, everything, like obviously while playing a lot of Warzone at the time, but it was a really good time to actually grow my knowledge base, where as when I just qualified, you're obviously like floating about, you don't really know what you're into. So
so you spent a lot of that time on personal growth, personal development.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And in fact, and it's funny because as a new PT, I don't know a lot of PTs that the first thing they want to do is kind of learn.
Yeah.
And kind of feed that kind of wealth of knowledge in themselves. Maybe I don't know enough, maybe I can learn more, etc., etc. So I think that's a characteristic that is why you're now here just now, is the fact that when things got hard, mm-hmm, you then spent that time working on yourself and working on your knowledge base and stuff like that. And so if we take it from that 6 months on, so where were you at the point of the gyms are going to open back up and let's get back at it? Where were you at that point?
I was staying just outside Cumbernauld, but I applied for Pure Gym in Stirling, so got started in there, and it was a really good team. I learned loads from the guys there. But it was in and out of lockdowns again. Like when we were in the tier system, tier 4, gym was shut. Then we'd go back down, it would open again for 2 weeks. I think the longest spell I had in Pure Gym was 3 weeks. So it was just drips and drabs all the time. And then January went into another 4-month lockdown until April. So Pure Gym in Stirling, like I really struggled to get my traction going there. But I saw an advert for JD in Cumbernauld, and the gym just looked unbelievable. So I was like, I wonder if they're hiring PTs. So just got in touch, and I thought that the gym itself sort of suited more my style of training, and I'd be able to have a better impact, and it was just closer to home. So applied and got in there. So that was really exciting. Like that April was the defining point, because that was when we're finally actually open back up. No more tier system, no more all that stuff. It was just right, time to get going. And the gym was brand new, so there was that massive excitement. Walking in the front doors, and that was the first time anybody had been in the building. Do you know what I mean? So it was really cool.
So at that point for yourself, you went through a crazy year. I mean, only being able to really work in a gym for 3 weeks at a time. I'm surprised you're still here. To be honest, after a year of all that, it would definitely put a lot of people off, and especially if financially you needed it. It's like, what am I going to do? So for then, you're in JID. So what was it like actually now being, right, I'm a new PT and I'm actually going to make this happen and build my business? How did that go?
Yeah, so even though I'd had, a year basically of trying to figure out how to do it, I still realised I had no idea what I was doing. Okay. Like when I started in JD, it was just trying to get clients, like launching like 4 different programs at the same time, like all that stuff. Managed to get a few clients, but it was always like discounting prices, like
just doing whatever you could.
Literally anything that I could get someone to sign up for, I was doing. And it just felt really like chaotic, because I would have somebody in like 3 sessions a week that was paying me like, £25 an hour, and then someone who was paying like £30 an hour, a wee bit more, and like it was just so chaotic, like trying to keep up with everyone, but like not delivering as good a service for any of them. As well as like this year was actually way more chaotic for me in my personal life than last year. So dealing with all that stuff as well. The first few months in JD was just like a riot. But like it was really good fun. The team are unbelievable. Like honestly, they kept me in it for a lot of the time. Being able to develop those relationships, like I think it's a really weird work environment, because a lot of the people are the same age, you have the same interests, all that stuff. So it's a really unique place to work in a gym. But
we always say that your environment is dictated by, or your performance is dictated by your environment. So who you surround yourself by. So having a team around you of like-minded people, it's so powerful for keeping your head in the game.
Yeah, for sure. It was massive. A lot of like we sort of at New Year there, we were saying like last year was the year to break everything down and figure everything out. So like, a lot of conversations were had, a lot of things were happening where I was trying to figure out who I was, what I was doing, like how to live properly and all that stuff. And I think it was a crazy time looking back at it now. It feels like 2021 was just an absolute blur. It feels like the time just disappeared. But those first few, from April to, when did I sign up with you? September?
September or so near the latter end of the year.
September, so April and September, it was chaos. It really was like, there's no other word to describe it, I suppose.
So we look at that and we say, right, at that point, it was a struggle to get clients. It was doing whatever you could, training program wise, discounted prices, just whatever, just to get clients.
Yeah, literally anything.
Stressful, frustrating, desperate, just exhausting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, to be honest. So at that point, you were now, so roughly how many clients did you have at that point?
I think the most I had at one time was 8 clients.
Cool. So we go from that. What then made you want to reach out to me or the PT Academy for help?
Yeah, so I'd seen one of the guys that had signed up with you, who I knew, like, his uncle's my football coach. Like, we're from the same wee island up north, and I'd just seen his progress, you know, from working with you, the change in, you know, his PT style, like what he was interested in, even, you know. And like, I saw his business got really focused and really, like, the opposite of chaotic. Do you know what I mean? It just it seemed like it was very streamlined, structured,
streamlined.
Whereas, you know, before, a lot of the content that he was producing was probably quite similar to the stuff I was going through at the time.
Right. Okay.
So I saw that, I was like, that's funny. And obviously then I got in touch with him, and the conversation started about signing up with yourself. So yeah, took that decision to sign up with you. And
so obviously you could then see, from my perspective then, you could see how what you were doing, that was chaotic, stressful, and just kind of unpredictable, to maybe somebody who was quite similar to maybe you, or at that stage where you could see a lot of similarities, but then you saw how that changed so quickly, and then realizing for yourself, well, how I want that. I want to be structured. I want streamlined. I want to be more structured. So obviously you did. You got in contact. You reached out. We got you on board. I found out exactly what you needed. And so, what was it like coming on board?
It was, so for me, like the idea of having a mentor or something like that was something that I've always been open to. I had a mentor in the past, and it just didn't quite work out. The styles didn't match up, and I thought I needed somebody who was going to actually look at me as an individual, not just as a PT who needs help or needs to get to a certain client level. But somebody who was going to come in and say, right, you're in this gym, you've got these type of people, you want to train these type of people, how do you then go and make money off it? And like, I was super nervous because it's a big investment for you to make in yourself, essentially, like in your own business. But after that first call, like the first few calls that we did, all the content that I was watching from yourself, obviously, like it just, all the nerves, just this. I was like, cool, this is going to be very straightforward. And it literally just, all the noise, all the chaos and all that stuff, it was like, right, cool, like here's the one thing that you're going to do, or here's one thing to focus on today and this week, and then next week we'll see if there's anything we can add to it or whatever.
And it's funny because this probably would resonate now to how you'd run your PT business. You have a client that's maybe had a chaotic experience. I don't really know how to get in shape. I've tried this, it didn't work. They're coming to you for clarity, direction, guidance, education, support, so that they can get the end result. That is exactly what you kind of done with me in the PT Academy. Was I need some clarity, I need a direction, something to focus on, I need a plan, and how are we going to implement, how are we going to take action? Because action trumps anxiety or fear or frustration, and it's like, how am I going to get clients? This is what we're going to do. If we're going to look for online clients, this is what we're going to do. If we're going to look for clients in the gym, this is what we're going to do. Let's find out who do you want to work with. Let's find out how you're going to connect with those people at that level. And I remember speaking to you about that shift in mindset, where it was just like, now you actually enjoy like PT. Whereas before it was just like, not that you didn't enjoy it, but it probably felt like a lot of hard work. It felt like a lot of hard work, and it was stressful. Like it was something that, like, walking into the gym, you're sort of dreading, like, oh, I don't really know what's going to happen here. To then October, like the end of October, literally just flipped on its head. Like I was convinced, right? I gave myself a target. I was like, if I don't at least make enough to, you know, as a living, you know, as a career in October, then I'm done. So that was a big decision to sign up with yourself as well, was, right, this is getting to the end point now where if I don't actually start making money off this, I won't be doing this for very long. Need to go and do something else. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, the fact that
it wasn't just breaking even in October, but it was more than I'd even expected.
Yeah.
That was massive. Like it wasn't just the money, it was the fact that like it was all clients I wanted to work with. It was all like, it was really enjoyable. I loved every session, loved the programming. Like it was just, everything about it was so enjoyable that I was like, I can do this for the foreseeable future. Like this is going to be an easy thing to implement, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's a huge shift in mindset and a huge shift in you and your business, and what a matter of months from, if I don't make this work, I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out. This it's kind of got to work now, or else I'm probably going to leave the industry. To then flipping that 360 or 180, exactly what you said, was now being like, actually, I can do this. Mm-hmm. And I'm seeing the fruits of my labor. And I think exactly what you said to me was, what I made in 1 month, or what I made in 3 months,
yeah,
you made in 1 month.
Yeah.
And that and it was like that completely shifted to not only can I do something that I enjoy, but it can give me that financial security, mm-hmm. stability. I get the passion and the fulfillment from what I'm doing. But obviously, because you've got the structure and the systems and the processes in place now, like you were saying, talking to clients, like doing consultations in the gym, speaking to people about how you can help them, you're just so much clear and direct as mm-hmm. to what you need to do now, rather than just having a conversation with somebody.
Yeah, like so the 4 months before I signed up with yourself, so you know, up till October, I've been as much in October as I did in the previous 4 months. But for me, like what you were saying there was actually the biggest part. Like talking to people and then sitting down for a consultation, it was always we'll see how this goes. Like I don't know what I'm selling. I don't know like I don't know how to get what they need and then translate that into offering them a product, because I didn't have a product, you know.
Yeah.
I was like, I do PT. That's it. Like, what do you want? But now sitting down with clients and having a direct, like, I know in my head what I'm going to say, and when they come back to me with something, a concern, an issue, I already have these things in my head about how to deal with that or how to, you know, help them out. It just it clarified literally everything, and it made such a huge difference. Like that, it was a mindset shift towards how I run my business, not just towards like PT or whatever.
Yeah.
But having consultations, chatting to people on the gym floor, then became like, right, I know now what to say to them to then turn that into a lead or into a consultation or something like that.
Yeah.
And that was completely different to what it was before. Before you just walk out and be like, well, we'll see if we get a client today or not, but who knows?
It was a hopeful experience, and unfortunately there is PTs out there that are probably in the same boat as you.
Yeah.
It's like, how am I going to get clients today? I don't know.
Yeah. Like, you're hoping they just come to you.
Maybe they'll just come to me, or maybe I'll speak to a couple of people and you'll just talk and you'll just talk and you'll just talk and you'll be like, I'm talking to people, but no one's really asking for PT, or no one's really asking for anything. Or I'll be like, oh, would you like PT? And they're like, oh, no, I'm okay. And they're like, I don't really know what to do here. I'm just, like you said, I'm just hoping that maybe today will be different. Maybe tomorrow will be different. Maybe next week will be different. But that wishful, hopeful feeling, that only lasts so long before that then shifts into fear and anxiety and frustration and stress that I'm kind of not getting clients here. I'm not getting busy. And even the current clients you've got, you kind of said it earlier about not feeling like you're delivering on your service as to what they need to get amazing results. And we know as a PT, your business and success is built on your results and your reputation. And I know for a fact now that your results, your reputation, and your service is second to none. You know what I mean? And I think I explained this to you when you signed up, that there is two different types of PT out there. There is PTs out there that on the surface level, they look fantastic. They look great themselves. Knowledge-based, they probably not know as much as what you know in terms of a client service and delivery. Service probably isn't that great, but from a marketing perspective, it looks good for marketing. They're in shape. Their social media is pretty active, so they're getting a lot of inquiries. They're getting a lot of leads, and yet you know yourself, I know more than them. My service is better than theirs, but they're busier. And then you get the other PTs that are actually really good at what they do. They're really good PTs, but they're just not sure how to kind of necessarily run a business, how to get clients, and how to show the world or show people what they can do. And it's frustrating because they're the ones that have the knowledge. They're the ones that can deliver on that promise, and yet it's the other PTs that are getting busy because of the marketing and the image and all that stuff. And so it was making sure we could bridge the gap, that not only did you look the part, inspire, motivate your clients, but you also had the practical application to deliver on that promise.
Yeah,
like,
for sure.
If you want to lose a stone, if you want to lose 2 stone, if you want to get leaner, fitter, stronger, I can help you. Yeah. This is what we're going to do with your training. This is what we're going to do with your diet. These are the type of results we expect every week. This is what we're going to expect over the next 3 months. That gives a lot of confidence in your delivery, and it gives a lot of confidence speaking to your clients, because a lot of your clients don't have direction. They don't have any metrics of success or targets or whatever it is. So it's hard to stay motivated and focused when you don't know what you're trying to stay motivated and focused for.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean,
I think that was a big part for me as well. Like, obviously, like I was saying, behind closed doors, my life was madness, right? So I just wasn't training, wasn't really enjoying it. And that was a big part about signing up with yourself as well. Like, you can tell that you were a PT before. Like, you're not just a business coach, but like, I felt like even, personally, but as well as my business, I was getting PT from you. Do you know what I mean? So it's different. Like, again, with other business coaches, it was very much, here's some things you can just go and implement into your business, like on a Zoom call with 20 other people. It was just the framework. Here, go do that and hope for results. But it was very much, right, what do you need? How are we going to directly impact you and your business? And impacting me, like, the change over the last few months in myself has been huge. I've, really enjoying training again. Even just stupid stuff. Like, I feel so much better. I feel so much more confident. And that's all part of the process. And it makes a big difference, even being on the gym floor and not feeling like you're an imposter, not feeling like you don't belong there, but actually realizing, this is where I'm meant to be. This is where I'm running my business from. That was massive for me. Yeah,
and that's why I'd spoke to you last week about, look, I would love to discuss all of this on the podcast, because the amount of change from just business and mindset and growth that I'd seen from the Zander that came on at the start, that was quite anxious, stressed, fearful, I'm not quite sure, to then the turnaround that the last thing you said to me in the call was, I'm so excited for this year.
Yeah.
And I was like, that transformation is amazing, from if I don't make this work, I'm out the industry, to I can't wait to see how my business is going to grow in 2022.
Yep.
And that's what I felt like. There was such a shift in mindset. There was such a shift in your business, your confidence. Like, you were training, you had more energy, you were feeling better, you were able to approach clients, you were able to get clients, you knew you could deliver to those clients. So everything about you now had propelled tenfold. And that's amazing, especially from coming from that new PT background of being in a gym, year one, complete write-off, couple of weeks at a time, struggled to gain experience and knowledge. Yeah. Then when it finally did happen, it was realising that, shit, I don't actually know where to start. I'm not quite sure what to do here. That's quite a common theme, a lot of new PTs. 6 weeks on a PT course to get your qualification. There's not enough in there to allow you to run your business, to get clients, to deliver. So that's where we wanted to bridge that gap in the PT Academy, was making sure that now that you're in the industry, is how do you thrive? How do you win? How do you grow, scale? And that's what I'd seen in yourself, and that was absolutely, it was amazing watching that develop and grow. And so if we look at your experience like during it and now you at the back end of it, so before where you were, during, how the service and the experience and the communication, the guidance was so different to maybe other mentors or coaches that you've had before, and now looking at where do you see things going now?
Yeah. So like since I started, I've always wanted to do the best service that I can do, even if that was like on shift. I remember in August I did like 40 hours on shift one week, like covering people. I enjoyed the process. I enjoyed actually just becoming better at classes or cleaning equipment, stupid stuff like that. But that's the mentality that I want to take into all this stuff as well, is like how to be the best in every aspect for myself. Looking at my weaknesses and all that stuff and trying to iron them out, trying to improve on them. So I think over the next year, like honestly right now, like this month, comfortable living, I know that now next month, I know the target of clients and income that I need to get for next month. For then to be able to keep going. But I don't want to just hit the baseline. I want to actually try and build on top of it and really ramp it up. So yeah, next goal is full diary with one-to-one PT, and then start pushing online PT as well.
Perfect, which is huge. And it's one of the things I kind of wanted to come on to, was that there is a lot of people that have kind of saw the boom of online coaching, and it's been like, that looks good, that sounds good, it sounds easy, I want to do it. You kind of know this firsthand, and it is a full-time job. It's not necessarily that easy, especially if you don't know what you're doing. But I always feel like it's far easier to be the best PT in your gym, in your area, in your niche, in your market, to transition that service online than it is just to go online, because it's far easier to get results with clients in person than it is to get clients or to get results with clients online, where there's not that same interaction that you would have in the gym, because you don't see how the client trains. You're not able to push them or force them to do the work or squeeze out extra reps or whatever it is. And so we always say it's better to be the best PT that you can be, knowledge, experience, and then transition that online, because now you've got not only the knowledge, but that experience of working with people, you can translate that to other people, the exact same type of market and the clientele that you've dealt with before, on an online basis, because you know what you've seen it, you know how they respond, you know them inside out.
Yeah, I think that's massive. Like having experience as one-to-one PT, I think that's first and foremost for anybody. Like there's things that you'll learn with clients in the gym that you just won't get from online.
Yeah, I agree.
Like even recently, like I've got mostly a female client base now, and like cable flies. Every single female client really struggles with even getting like the bottom weight on cable flies, right? Yeah. If you're online, you're just like, just do it. Do you know what I mean? Like you don't see that struggle. So it's maybe something you adapt. It's maybe, something you need to work on, strengthen in another aspect, and then go on to it. But being able to work out like just how people train, how people move around the gym, like being able to program so that you're in one area of the gym and then moving into the next, like all that stuff like creates an experience for a client that you just wouldn't get if you're just writing a program online and giving it to somebody in their gym.
I think you highlighted such a key purpose, and this is something I've believed in myself. The programs that I design, I then experience and go through myself, and also with clients, to see, does it actually work? Because what looks good on paper isn't necessarily like in real life, doesn't actually translate. It's like if one bit of equipment is on one side of the gym and the other bit of equipment is at the opposite end, and you're saying go superset, how?
Exactly, you're running back and forth to hold it. Exactly, it just doesn't work.
How are you going? Or for me, if I've got a leg workout and a back workout too close together, I then find that because my legs are sore, that's then affected my back workout, and I'm now getting a sore back or something's happened. So these things that look good on paper, you do need to see it, you do need to feel it, you do need to experience it, you do need to see clients go through it to then understand that actually in paper that looks really good, but in real life it's just not the same.
Yeah, it doesn't translate the same at all. Like I had a few online clients throughout lockdown and into my early PT career, and it just being able to help them and to pinpoint what the issue is. Like your clients can't articulate what the problem is. Like that's what you're there for. Like they obviously have something that's not working, or they're not enjoying their gym session for some reason. Maybe they're anxious about being on the gym floor. Whatever it is, right? They have an issue that if you don't just speak to them one-to-one in person, or train with them and see how they operate, it's really difficult to get that feeling of like, right, you've had a bad day at work, how do we then motivate you? Or somebody's check-in sheet has one thing different. Like if you don't meet with that person and see them regularly, I find that really difficult. If you've not had that experience PTing one-to-one, that would just like, I remember looking back at check-in sheets and just being like, this is all useless information because I have no idea what I'm doing anyway. So like having that experience of one-to-one means that when I do an online service, and I won't go into it, I've always said I won't go into it until I feel like I'm a good enough PT to justify going online and training people who aren't in my vicinity. I think one-to-one is where it starts.
I think the key point in that there is communication.
Yeah.
It's learning how to communicate with clients, articulate problems, problem solve, being able to kind of help that client understand what they need to kind of get through that. And that's what you just said there. You're going to learn that in one-to-one, which is going to make you 10 times better as an online coach. And so things have changed so much. And this is the one thing I wanted to go on to, was knowing your worth and valuing yourself. And me saying to you about not undercharging, making sure you do charge enough for what you do, because there is other PTs out there that will be charging a similar price to you. If not, they might be charging more than you, and yet you're delivering a higher standard. You're giving your clients more than anybody else, and yet you're charging the same. And we wanted to make you understand that if you're going to go above and beyond with clients and delivery and service and results, is that you should be charging accordingly to really kind of build that confidence. And I remember when I was talking about pricing and structure, and it was like, I don't know.
Yeah, that was a sticking point for me at the start, because I was like, I don't know, that's a bit high. Do you know what I mean? Because like you go in, especially in a commercial gym setting, pretty much everyone charges the exact same. Like you've got like one session is £30 an hour. Then your 2 sessions a week is a 20% discount on that. And then your 3 sessions a week is like 30. So you end up like, we have a £25 an hour limit, but you end up under that if you're doing 3 sessions a week or whatever, because you've discounted it so much. But like, it seems like a lot of money, but it's a lot of time, a lot of effort for those clients that are coming in 2 sessions, 3 sessions a week. Whereas now, like doing 1 session a week with my clients, they're getting
what they need,
a better service than that person that was coming in for 3 sessions a week. But they're only seeing me for 1 hour as opposed to 3. Monthly, they're paying less, all that stuff. But
and you're getting what you feel like you're worth.
Yeah, my business is still consistent. Do you know what I mean? Like, I know, like, I didn't have anything. That client coming in 3 sessions a week, she could have quit on week 3, and that would have been it. That's it, done. Do you know what I mean? But having that structure in my business now where I can forecast and I can actually see, right, this is what I already know what I'm going to make next month, or I've made this, so this is what I need. Just being able to sit down and focus on not stress, not be so desperate, taking in streams of income, but charging what you think your service is worth. So like I've chatted to a lot of the PTs on staff and just been like, why are you discounting your time when like you're a really good PT? Like, believe in yourself, like go and trust that process. But it's nerve-wracking because you think if I just lower the price and someone will sign up. It's like, yeah, but they've signed up at a lower price. And I remember you said that to me at first. I was like, that makes sense. Like, that's annoying, but it's true. Like, they've signed up at a lower price that is better for them, but is in no way, shape or form better for you.
You said it was time. You're losing a lot of additional time. People feel like I'm charging for 1 hour.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so do you not spend any time out with that hour with a client? And they're like, do you do calls? Do you do WhatsApp? Do you change their diet, change their training plan? Like, if you're spending time out with that hour, you're technically not really charging them for that hour.
Yeah.
Like, because then that hour is actually 50% less because you're spending additional time there. So it was all this stuff that I guess if you didn't know because you were new, it was for me to say, look, this is what I've done in the last 14 years. This is how I built the business that I have going forward. These are the things that work. This is how we're going to implement it. And I guess it was me being slightly forceful to be like, this is what we need to do. Believe in yourself, because I believe in you and I know that you can do it. And then you just having that faith to be like, right, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And it was fearful and you were scared. And how am I going to charge this? And then you do it. You might get a rejection and be like, that reconfirms, I can't do this. I can't do this. But then you also have 3 or 4 clients that say yes. And you're like, oh my God, I can do this.
Yeah.
I am worth this. I am a good PT. I know exactly what I'm worth and I can actually do this. And that really propels your energy.
Yeah, I remember the very first consultation I had after changing my pricing structure, and that I remember I said, I was like, oh, it's, you know, $420 for the 12 weeks. Like, I know that's expensive. And I even said that. And she was like, no, that's fine. I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, and it's just...
I can't even believe you said, I know that's expensive.
I was like, don't pay that. You're just crazy. But no, she, like, and that, as soon as that happened, as soon as she said that sentence, my mindset changed completely. I was like, cool, right, that's all I need to know.
That shows how lacking of confidence you were, that you actually said on that consultation, I know it's expensive.
For sure, yeah. That I was not ready for, like, I was not prepared for that to happen. Like, I had gone into that, I was like, there's no way this is going to work. But now, the change in mindset is that if somebody comes and they say, that's too expensive for me, I'm like, okay, that's fine. It doesn't actually get me down at all.
Because you know your worth.
I know my worth.
Your value.
Yeah, maybe they're not in a place where they're ready to commit to that. They're not ready to invest at that time. But I'm sure down the line they'll see that, you know, that investment's worth it. So yeah, it's been massive. It's totally changed, like, how I run everything, how I speak to people, everything. It's amazing.
So let's imagine now, because this full journey has been amazing, especially for somebody that was new, especially somebody that was going to potentially drop out the industry, to now winning, thriving, excited about the future. If you could now go back and maybe talk to yourself or talk to other PTs that are in your shoes, what bit of advice or what would you then go say to them now that you've kind of experienced all this?
I think, like, signing up with a mentor of some kind, like obviously I would say yourself, right? But like, investing in that is essential, I would say. I think it's, unless you come off the ball running straight away, signing up clients, all that stuff, for some reason, whether it's your reputation or whatever, if you're struggling, which I would guess the vast majority of the fitness industry is, having somebody who can look into your business and actually make changes on the ground floor is, I don't see why it's not a part of the training process. Is like, as soon as you get your qualification, you get a list of mentors and what they specialize in. Go pick one, because it's frustrating when I see a really, really talented PT come in and just do the same stuff that every PT has done before, that hasn't worked, and then, you know, in 3-4 months' time, they're like, I don't know if I can do this. You know, I think I'm gonna have to leave. It's like, there is another way. Yeah, it is expensive, right? And it's a big investment, but like, I paid that off in the first month. Do you know what I mean? Like, I made that money back in the first month that I invested in you. Yep. And like, I don't see why that's not, like, it's a net zero thing, right? Yep. But the difference is that now I'll keep doing this. I know that, you know, January 2023, I'll still be a PT. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'll hopefully, you know, not hopefully, it will look very different, right? Yep. But I know that I'll still be doing this. Whereas in September, my November looked very different. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I would encourage anybody, and I do, like, all the people that I've chatted to, all the PTs that I work with, if they're struggling a wee bit, I always say, go and sign up with a mentor. Like, sign up with somebody who's going to transform not just your business, but your lifestyle, your training, like, your mindset, would be, in my opinion, the biggest one. But yeah, it's...
Well, the statistic is that 80% of PTs will only last 2 years.
Yeah.
That's the statistic.
And I think even like your content, finding your target market, all that stuff, like, why wait? Like, why push the ball down the road? If I had known in April the difference that this was going to make, I would have signed up in April. Like, I wouldn't have waited till October or September.
Yeah.
Like, I would have signed up in April. Like, why wait and, think about do your time? You're just wasting your time and your money. Sign up, get it done, and actually start enjoying what you're doing.
Yeah.
I remember the best thing that you said to me was, you love what you do, but you need to get paid in order to keep doing what you love. And like, that changed my mindset. I was like, he's right. Like, I need to actually start earning or else I won't be able to do this. Yeah. And for me, that was gutting. So I was like, right, this needs to change.
So guys, hopefully, especially if you are either new to the industry or if you're a PT who is struggling, hopefully just listen to Zander and how his life has changed in a matter of months. Like, the confidence, the energy, the enthusiasm, the passion, like, understanding not only that you love what you do, but you do need to get paid. You do need to get paid well in order to do it. Financially secure, reduce that stress. That is what's going to allow you to do this forever, for the rest of your life. And in terms of investment, like you said, you invest now so that you can win for the rest of your life. Because I'm assuming most of us want to be in this industry for the next 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And so why not accelerate your results now and start living that life? And that's what we kind of say to everyone. So hopefully, guys, you took a lot of value away from that. And don't be scared to hesitate to reach out. Whether you're going on the website, share, like, subscribe. And if there's somebody out there that you feel like would benefit from it, then let them know. Because for me, as many PTs and as many coaches out there that would like the help or need the help, it's my job to ensure that the industry is thriving, is growing, is doing well. And I can't do that alone. One person can't help any people. It can't help as many people as me being able to help PTs help that network of people. So guys, hopefully you enjoyed that, and I look forward to speaking to you on the next podcast. Speak to you soon.